Hey everybody, how are you doing? I am so excited about being with you for this program. I think it's going to be extremely helpful in your lives. And there's a reason that I'm saying that. Basically, as I travel around the world, one thing that I've definitely noticed is that a lot of people have an internal conflict going between money and spirituality. And that's probably why you are on this call and in this program. You may relate to that. And the big question seems to be, which one should I choose? Should I strive to be a good and kind and loving and peaceful and connected person? Or should I strive to become rich and financially successful? And you know what? Really, if you look at it, it's no wonder that so many of us are confused in this arena. Isn't it true that almost all religions say that you can't be spiritual and rich? Even the Bible says that it's easier for a camel to get through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to get to heaven. And people are constantly hearing and have heard this saying that money is the root of all evil. How about our churches and our temples, and our government? Isn't it true that all of these people basically say in some form or another that money is bad and that rich people are greedy? Again, rich people are greedy, money is bad, etc., etc. Of course, that's true, except for them, right? How about when you look at movie stars in the world and rock stars who OD'd on drugs or they kill themselves, they commit suicide? Doesn't it seem obvious that money doesn't buy happiness? I agree that money, and I'm going to put a word here, alone does not buy happiness. But I'll also say it certainly buys a lot more comfortable life. Not the most important, but important. And we're going to talk about that as we address some of your questions here. All right. Now, how many of you ever understood or heard or been part of, parents or people that you grew up with that instilled in us, again, that money is not important and that we should be a good and pious person? And yet at the same time, we know that in our world today, we need money to survive and to have a decent life. And so, we don't want to have a bunch of financial struggle and worries, do we? So what do? How many of you ever felt confused? It's like, okay, I want to be a good person, but, I also obviously need some money to live in today's world. And hey, it seems like the more money one has, the better they can live. How many of you have ever experienced this confusion? What do? Am I a good person or am I a spiritual person? But what about the money I need here? What am I supposed to do here? And again, this is an area that is very dear to my heart. Very dear, and I'll tell you why in a second here. So what about the idea that the spiritual concept of being in service to others? We've all heard that, and we also agree with that too. So the question is, how many of you have ever had the question is, how can I be in true service to others when I'm charging them? So listen, you're not alone. You're not alone. We're all taught to be, either religious or have a spiritual element to us. And hopefully this is why you're on this program, because you've been taught and you've been in this path for a long time. And at the same time, we all have this big quandary going on in our heads and in our hearts of, hey, I want to be a good person. I choose that route. I want to be spiritual. But what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to live around money? And how am I supposed to reconcile these two together? So let me tell you a little story, if that's okay, of how this played out for me personally, if I may. And some of you were on the call when I was having a discussion with Vishen in the master class. But I want to again relate this to you so you can see where I'm coming from myself. And again, in all my seminars, I say one thing. don't believe a word I say, okay? Don't believe a word I say. But I will say this. I have had this confusion, this unclarity, this quandary. I had that for most of my life until something happened. And so, I don't know if you remember from my story, but my parents, they came from Europe and they came right after the war. And to them, money wasn't a comfort thing, and it wasn't of, how much can I accumulate to buy my boats and my planes and whatever, and my toys. Money meant pure survival. As in, if you had money, you got to live. And if you didn't have money, you died. Okay? Simple as that. So you can imagine what they instilled in me as a youngster, what they conditioned and programmed me to believe. And that was that money meant survival. And the more of it you had, the more secure you would be in your life to stay alive. And that's what was instilled in me. So when all my friends wanted to be baseball players and football players and soccer players and astronauts and doctors and lawyers, me? I just wanted to be a millionaire as quickly as possible. I didn't even know what it meant, but I knew I had to be one. And so I didn't even finish school. After the first year of college, boom, I was out there in the real world, working my buns off, trying to make it, accumulate money, get into businesses, try to get rich, do what I had to do. And you know what? For 14 long, arduous, very hard years, I did nothing but struggle, which was a surprise, a shock to me. Because I thought, hey, if you have an intention to get rich and you're willing to work hard and you get in the right business, in the right vehicle at the right time, you're just going to get rich. Guess what? At least for me, it didn't work that way. I want to see if anybody else here can relate to my story so far, and that you had your eye on getting rich, and you worked and you might still be working, and not much is happening for you. And how many of you have ever felt frustrated by that situation? So here I was, struggling to make it, up and down, up and down. But here's what I noticed, interestingly enough. When I was up, when I actually had some money, guess what? I wasn't much happier than when I didn't have it. And in fact, this entire time, I wasn't happy at all. And I was, because I come from a bit of a spiritual, intuition or heart, I knew there was another way. And of course, like you guys, I heard all the sayings too. Money doesn't bring happiness. Money's not important. Rich people are evil and blah, 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 blah. And so I was studying Zen at the time and studying spiritual elements at the time as much as I possibly could. And finally it dawned on me that, this groping, this striving for money and more money is not making me happy. And when I went to the other side, and when I was reading spiritual books and going to spiritual retreats and seminars and studying with my guru, I felt peaceful. I felt this is real. This is what life is all about. How many of you felt that way at some point in time? That when you feel spirituality, when you study spirituality, when you are involved in the spiritual elements of life, you feel good. You feel peaceful. You feel happy. I felt and so I said, you know what? This is the path that I should be taking. And I basically gave up the real world of money. And I just stopped striving and stopped trying to be in business. And I was studying with my guru. My guru's name is Sherry, by the way. And I'll give you her full name after and recommend some of her books. And I was studying with her very, very intently, had gone to her retreat, had been with her actually for months at a time. And I was intent on becoming a monk, a Zen monk. Because she seemed happy, the people at the monastery seemed happy, and I felt good studying this. And so, I started going to this route. And 3 years later, I looked at my life, and guess what? I wasn't happy. And I took it deep. I felt like crying. I didn't know what to do. I was so confused. I was so unclear. So what do I do now? The chasing for money doesn't work. Isn't making me happy. Trying to be only spiritual isn't making me happy. I'm broke. I can't pay my rent. I'm having to ask people and my parents. I'm embarrassed. What do I do? And I tell you, I remember that day just like it was a minute ago. And I was sitting there outside of my parents' condominium in Florida because I had to leave my apartment because I couldn't pay the rent. And I looked up and I just was kind of looking up in the sky and I went, what do I do? What do I do? And I wasn't thinking from a spiritual side or anything. I was just, tears were in my eyes and I just was looking, what do I do now? And for the first time in my life, a voice that was as clear as a bell came through me, to me. I don't know how to describe it. It came to my heart, but it clearly spoke English to me, and it clearly said, Harv, get a Post-it note and a pencil. And I always use Post-it notes, so it wouldn't be unusual that I would do that. And I just did that. And it said, write this down. And I was all ears or all heart or whatever. It just felt so natural, like a gift was coming to me. And I wrote down what it said. And when I read it, the words were this: Harv, embrace both sides of yourself. And both was capitalized and underlined 3 times. And as I read this, I felt 1,000 pounds or kilos, wherever you live, lighter. It was like finally the veil, the confusion, the uckiness of life had been lifted from my eyes. And I could see my path clearly in life. I had been so used to going in a specific direction. It was one or the other. It was money or it was spirituality. And so it never dawned on me, never, that there could be a path of having both in my life. And you know what? Isn't it, and from then on, from that moment on, I want to tell you that my life changed and my life began to soar because I wasn't trying to have my feet on both sides of the river at the same time, which, by the way, can be very, very painful if you know what I mean. I was right in the middle of the river, and now I was flowing with the universe and flowing with the material world and the spiritual world, and both perfectly, beautifully in my life. And from then on, not only was money starting to come into my life, slowly but very, very surely, and building and building and building to where today, I think most of you might know this, but if you don't know who I am, people ask me all the time, Harv, are you a millionaire? And I go, well, the economy in the United States and North America has not been so good. And so today, I must admit, I am not a millionaire anymore. I'm not. I am a multi, and I could go on for a couple of minutes, my friends, millionaire. And I am happy. And I am peaceful. And I believe myself to be a loving and giving and generous person. And I am extremely what people would call and define as a very spiritually based person. Rich and spiritual. And I believe that it is part of my mission in life now to help others who would like to cross that bridge, who would like to have both in their life, who understand the need for both in their life, be able to blend these two elements that the whole world and the whole society has deemed as opposites, money and spirituality, be able to blend them beautifully together in your life. How many of you would love to be able to blend money and spirituality, wealth and spirituality in your life? If so, absolutely say yes. Then you're in the right place, everybody. Totally in the right place. And I'm in the right place. And when we're in the right place together, magic will occur. That's what we're going to work on today. All right, so let me explain very quickly the format of how this is going to work, why we're doing it this way. And it's very simple. When I'm in, and again, this is the first lesson or the first coaching or whatever you want to call this format in the series. And so I'm going to do a little bit more, obviously, of an introduction at this time and a little bit less of it in the other 7 times that we have together. I hope that's okay with you. Thank you if it is. All right. So here's the thing, what I notice. I could be at seminars all over the world. And again, for those of you who don't know me, I teach seminars all over the world. The average seminar has somewhere between 2,000 and 5,000 attendees for 3 days, 4 days, or 5 days at one of the programs. And it's very interesting. I have 3 or 5 days worth of information at these seminars, and I am, expounding this information and teaching, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We're doing processes and everything, and everybody's clapping and having a great time and really learning. And yet, at every single break, and at the end of every night, and especially at the end of every seminar, there are not 1 or 5. There are dozens, if not hundreds of people waiting to speak to me in person. And you know what? Sometimes it's to sign a book, and sometimes it's to take a picture, which I don't usually do right now because that will take too much time. But it's 95% of the time. Do you know why they're waiting? Because they are waiting to ask me a question, a personal question about their lives personally. They want some coaching from hopefully a highly successful person from an outside source. And it's very interesting that when they ask this question, I usually don't think about it too much. Usually something comes, let's say, into me, through me, and pops out of my mouth without it going through my mind very much. It's just kind of an intuitive, connected hit from source that I pass along to whoever is standing in front of me. And very often I'll write down their RX, their prescription on a post-it and not say a word and just give it to them. And I am in shock generally at what I see in front of me as these people, this person generally, their eyes open as wide as they've ever opened before. Their body seems to just expand and grow lighter, and a big smile just comes across their face because it has resonated with them personally to their specific life. And so here, instead of me, like many other speakers and trainers do, and I do very often too, instead of me just doing a generic talk and data and information that I deem important, it's you with your questions who is telling me what you deem important in your specific life as personally as possible. So that, again, you can get clear and then take right off in your life. And by the way, I will say this right now. When you are clear, I repeat this, when you are clear, your life will take off. What do I mean by that? Now, I'm in my cabin in Lake Tahoe, California right now. And I'm looking at the trees, the pine trees that are 30, 40, 50 feet high. And I'm looking at a brook right in front of me. The brook has water running down from the top of the hill all the way down around my property down to the bottom, as far as I can see. And you know what? This brook keeps running and running. The water keeps running beautifully all the way down. No problem. It's natural, right? However, all that needs to happen is one of these trees falls for any reason whatsoever across the brook, and impedes the progress of the water. And all of a sudden, this water will start backing up and backing up and backing up. And pretty soon, what will be on the bottom will be dry, no more water or just trickles. Why? Why? Because something has stopped it. Something is preventing from the water from naturally flowing to where it's supposed to go. Now, I'm talking to you here, by the way. I hope you're getting this. It's just an analogy. You can flow to both success on a spiritual level and on a material level very, very not going to say effortlessly, but naturally, as long as you are not impeded by blocks that are holding you back. I'm going to say that again. You will flow naturally to what you want if you use the principles, the laws of the universe, which we'll be covering here, as long as you are not blocked from doing so by a source that is holding you back. And by the way, 99% of everyone that I know and everyone I teach is blocked. How many of you kind of feel what I'm talking about? That it's like you know where you want to go somewhere, but there's just like you're driving with your foot on the gas, the accelerator, and the brake at the same time. And again, don't put yourself down for this. The water, the stream does not put itself down for a tree that has blocked its way. But if you notice, the water eventually will find its way under, over, around, or through, as long as it has an intention to do so, and as long as it doesn't give up. All right. So that's why we are doing it this way. Now, I want you to be understanding this, and that is, you might be thinking, how can this help me if it's not my specific question to my specific life? And here's how. I want you to write this down, please, in your notebooks. I want you to write this down. Okay. If you don't have your notebook printed, by the way, I just want you to take notes. Now, and those notes, by the way, are data that you get, ahas, big learnings that you get, and actions that you will take from the principles that you are learning in your life right now. All right? And that's one big one right now. Right now, that's a big principle, is that very simply, when the way is clear, you will naturally arrive at your destination. When the way is clear, you will naturally arrive at your destination. Do you understand that? So why wouldn't you be arriving? Because you have been blocked. Remove the blocks and you will naturally get to where you want to go. Clarity is power. Write that down. Clarity is power. Clarity is power. Write it down. Okay? So it's important that you become clear in all the areas of your life. When you know what you want and there's not a blockage to it, it's so much easier to get there. So, write this down too. There are no accidents in the universe. There are no accidents in the universe. What that means is this, that if you are in this program, and you are, okay? If you're on this program, you are, and you're on this call, you are supposed to be here. And I guarantee this from my experience, and I will say this, not to kind of put myself in any different position than yourself, but I have well over 1 million, I'm going to say it again, 1 million students from around the world, more than 1 million now. And I've done this many, many times, and I guarantee this right now, that each of these questions will apply to you personally, or the universe would not have put you on this specific call. And so very simply, so as you're listening and taking notes on this call, the question I want you to ask yourself is not, hey, does this pertain to me? It's how, I repeat, how does this pertain to me? That is what I want you to say to yourself every single time I say anything, and every question that is asked, any answers or any opinions. And by the way, everything I give is an opinion. It is not truth. Remember, don't believe a word I say. But I will say this. Try it out in your own life. What have you got to lose? Hey, I'm going to say something right now, and you may not like it, but remember, my job isn't to be your friend. I'm going to say this right now. My job is not to be your friend. My job is to be your best friend and tell you the things that only a best friend would share with you because they care for you, not just the things that you want to hear. Okay? So I hope you understand that, and I hope you're okay with that. So you say to yourself, not does this pertain to me, but it's how does this pertain to me in my life? Not does it pertain, how does this pertain to me in my life? And you come up with an answer. You don't go, well, I can't think about it. Because you know what? That is the loser's way out. Oh, I don't know. You know what? I don't know is for losers. What do I mean by that? It's that cop-out. It's the easy way out for your brain and your mind. Oh, I don't know. Well, here, have you ever heard this? A good trainer will always say, well, what if you did know? What would you say? Well, if I did know, I would say maybe this. That's what I'm going to say to you. What if you did know? So you always ask that question. If you say, well, I don't know, say, what if I did know? What if I did know? What would I say? Okay, so I want you to say yes or no right now that you agree or disagree, I want you to agree or not agree that you will ask yourself in every question, how does this pertain to me? If you make an agreement with me, you're going to keep it. Every question and every answer, you're going to say, how does this pertain to me? If you agree with this, then put agree. And I want to see who agreed. And if you don't agree, then don't agree. And you know what? You should get off the call right now. Because your energy is going to take you out. This is your block right now. This is how you do it to yourself. We haven't even barely started yet, and you're already trying to be the rebel. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a rebel. I was the second born in my family. I'm naturally the rebel. But you know what? I'm not a stupid rebel. I'm a rebel when it serves me, and I'm a learner and a modeler and a follower when it serves me to do that. So I'm not going to tell you how to do your life, but I will tell you how I did my life and what worked for me and what seems to work for hundreds of thousands of my students. And then my simple request is that, are you willing to just try this in your life for a while? And if it works, just keep doing it. And if it doesn't work, throw it out. But at least try it full on. If you are willing to try what we're talking about full on in your life, at least for a while, say yes. Say yes. Are you willing to try it out in your own life? I'm not saying it's truth. Just try it out. Okay. Now, here's what I want to do. I want to take some questions here. And again, I'm hoping that just with my energy around this alone, things are already changing for you on an inner energetic side. Now, you don't know necessarily what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, where it's coming from, but I'll tell you what, from a spiritual side, it's always invisible, isn't it, until it becomes visible and manifest in your life. So I will tell you right now a little secret, and that is that I am working on you as well as with you right now. My energy around this, my feelings, my thoughts, my emotions, my own experiences are forming an energy that is now being instilled in you. And you will not help but model at least a little bit of my energy and my feelings around this whole topic. I want you, if you understand what I'm saying, you already feel different without any questions being asked so far, but you already feel different. Different. Just by my feelings around this, I want you to say, I feel different, or I feel good, or I understand what you're doing. Okay? I'm dealing with a gentleman right now who's working on my back. He's a chiropractor and a physiotherapist. I'm coaching him on his business. And he has told me today, after about 4 sessions so far, that he is in shock at how different he is already thinking just by the way I think. He's never really met anybody who thinks like me. And I'm not anything special. I just think in a certain way. And that certain way produces the result of success with heart, with spirituality. And that's, when you say, please don't even think of me as a guru. I am not a guru, okay? I have gurus. I'm going to India in November, and I'm going to meet as many gurus as I can. Swamis, people who are semi-enlightened, I hope, so that, listen closely, some of their energy rubs off on me. Just because, and you know that when you sit in front of some of these people, they just sit there and they smile and you look in their eyes and you see love and you feel wisdom, right? They don't even have to say anything to you. You just feel it and you walk out a changed person. Well, I'm not saying I'm in that category at all. But listen, all energy is transferable, right? Energy is contagious. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, said Einstein, but it can be what? It can be transferred. It is contagious. It must go somewhere else. You understand that? And so I have a certain energy. That energy is being installed in you. You are the kind of person, you will be the person that will actually blend wealth and spirituality. One of the few. You chose yourself to be in this program. You chose yourself to spirit to say, this is who I am. Not everyone in the world did this. Only about 1,000 of you did. And you are the chosen people to do this. And you know what? You're chosen for a reason. And I'm going to tell you why you're chosen, to combine wealth with spirituality. Why? Because your job is to do it so you can help other people get there too. All right. Take a nice deep breath. I've got a Michael Schatz here. He says, I'm a rabbi of Talmud and the Kabbalah. I have a strong block to being rich since that usually doesn't happen in my profession. Can you be rich with any job or profession? Thank you. All right, Michael, here's the answer to your question. Can you be rich with any job or profession? The answer is yes. That was hard. Okay, next question. No, I'm only kidding. All right, yes, of course. But remember that everyone has a different definition of rich. Now, I want to first of all say that when I think about rich, for myself, I think about a lot of money. A lot. A lot means a lot, okay? In the multi-millions. That's what rich is for me. Now, for some people, you know, they say, well, you could be rich in spirit and rich in love. And no, I am not talking about that kind of rich. Yes, you could be rich. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about money, okay? Money and wealth, that kind of rich. That's what we're talking about now, and that's what this topic is. Do you understand that? Rich is rich. Let's not play around here, okay? And so, how can you possibly, be rich? So listen closely. So again, there's a definition of rich. Can you be a billionaire with any job or profession? Well, in my experience, probably not. Can you be a multi-millionaire? Might be hard with any. Can you be a millionaire or at least very, very, very well off, at least financially free? Here's my words. Absolutely, 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 yes, 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 times a billion times. Okay. Well, let's see how. All right, I want you to understand something, everybody. Money is a game. Money is a game. It's a game that we play with ourselves. You understand this? And it's a skill. So when you say, can you be rich or can you have a lot of money with any profession? The answer is yes. Why? Because you can learn a game and you can learn the skill of money. And so, first of all, as a rabbi, Michael, I don't know where you're coming from. Unfortunately, that's not on my sheet here. But I will say this: in North America, there's a lot of rabbis who make anywhere between $60,000, $80,000, $100,000, $120,000, $150,000 a year simply in salary. Okay, and with the bigger temples or churches or whatever they're involved in. So here's the thing, and this is for everybody to remember. It doesn't matter what your job is, and it doesn't matter what your business is. If you have income, what matters is how you manage that income. Okay? Now listen closely. We're going to have a whole session on this later on. Remember, money is a game played with yourself, and basically it boils down to a certain skill. Now here it is. When you have I'm going to give you the key to money. Listen closely, guys. Listen closely here. It's very simple. Money is simple. Write this down. Money comes in. So you earn some money, okay? No matter how much it is. Then the next piece of this, to keep it simple, is you need to keep some of it. Wow, what a concept. I have to keep some of it. Because remember, we're talking about accumulating money to create, richer wealth. So money must be accumulated to create richer wealth. Yes? So money's got to come in. If you don't have money coming in, you're finished. It's over. All right? Next, when the money comes in, you got to keep some of it. Okay? If you don't keep up some of it, it's over. And with the money that you keep, right, you spend some and you keep some, and with that money that you keep, you need to grow that portion of your money. 3 simple things. It doesn't get much simpler than this. You got to have money coming. Earn it, keep it, grow it. Write that down. Earn it, keep it, grow it. It's not hard, okay? Now, I'm going to say this right now, and we're going to go again in another session very, very much over this. It's not how much you earn. It's what you do with what you earn that will determine whether you're rich or poor. Someone can have a very high income, but they spend all their money, they're broke. Okay? They live high off the hog, they spend it all, whatever, they're broke. Someone can have a very moderate income, but they know how to manage it. And they get to keep some of it. They keep some of it, and they know how to grow it, and they either become financially free or rich over time. So as a rabbi or anybody else who earns $50 or $80 or $100,000 a year, will you become rich overnight? Okay, probably not. Okay? But can you become rich over time? Of course you can. So all that comes down to, rabbi, is, and everybody listening, earn it, keep some of it, and grow what you've kept. In other words, invest it wisely. Buy some real estate. Okay? That's usually a pretty good idea over time. And now what you're going to have to do, everyone, including Michael, the most important thing you're going to have to do is be the stream. And if you are, now listen closely here. I'm going to say something here. I don't want to be rude, but listen closely here. You're going to have to remove your blocks to wealth. I just told you how easy it is. Okay, you're a smart person. Everybody who's on this call is a smart person. It doesn't take much to figure out those 3 things. Earn it, keep it, grow it. Ta-da! Wow, what a concept here, okay? Now, but we have blocks, don't we? Oh, well, I'm not earning enough, but if I can't, I have to buy this, and I got a mortgage, and my kids, right? All the what ifs and all the crap you put around it. Let go of all of it. It's very simple. Earn it, keep it, grow it. Now, I will say this. To people who are spiritual, what's important will be your purpose for money. You must have a purpose for money that resonates with you. Your purpose for money must resonate with you. Now, does that mean your purpose in life? Well, sometimes yes and sometimes no. I'm not saying that right now. I might say that later. But right now is you must have a reason for wanting to create wealth and richness. It has to be a reason. Now, let me give you the secret that I use in my seminars. When I first started my seminars, they were nothing to do with spirituality. They were all about getting rich. Because I saw that people were, well, let's just say a lot more freer when they were rich than when we were struggling with money, okay? But as I noticed that what happened for people is that, you know, a lot of my students were getting, you know, well off, doing well with finance, but a lot of them weren't. Until I started to do this exercise. Here was the exercise. I would say to people, I want you to write down 10 reasons that you want to be rich or at least have a lot more money. And then I would say, I want you to narrow it down that only reasons that are a level 10 out of 10 for you in importance. In other words, you have to have or do this in your life. This is imperative in your life. It is super critical that you have to have or do this in your life, and this is why you want money. And this is what had happened. When people's reason for having a lot of money was only for themselves, they would seldom have it or get it, or if they did get it, they wouldn't be able to keep it. OMG. When money and riches are only for you, it is very seldom that you get to keep it. Okay. Now, here's the thing. When I started to ask people, what else would you want to do with this money when you got it? And they had a strong purpose, and that the purpose was partly, listen closely, partly to help other people. It started to resonate that it was okay to be rich if you were a good, kind, and spiritual person. Now, if you were a jerk to begin with, hey, having a purpose to help other people is not going to do a heck of a lot for you. But I'll still tell you this. You won't keep your money if you're a jerk. I'm going to say it again. Write this down. You won't keep your money and your wealth if you are a jerk. You might be able to walk over a few people. You might be able to be greedy. You might be able, for a time, but it won't last. And there's a reason for that. And the reason is this. For you to get money, the people are going to have to give it to you, yes? They give it to you because they're buying something from you, yes? They're buying a service or solving a problem or something, yes or yes? Now, I'm going to ask you this. Do you want to give your money to a person who doesn't treat you nicely, to a person who's a jerk, to a person who's, I'm not going to say other words, a person who is not nice? Do you want to give your money to that person? If at all possible you can get your problem solved or your service from someone who's very nice, wouldn't you rather give it to them? And so yes, a person can scam you. People in business can scam you. People in business can be greedy. People in business can tell you lies, and for a short time, people will believe them and give them their money, but it will not last. Because at some point in time, they will be found out that they're not providing the value, and they're a jerk, and people will run the other way. True or true? So I hope that helped you, Michael. Remove the blocks to your wealth. Have a purpose that helps yourself and others. But remember, you can get rich with any profession and any business. Income, keep some of it, manage it in other words, and invest it wisely. Simple as that. Maria Nakata. She's asked this question. She said, I know that money and spirituality should go together. But what if the people who need my help are the people who don't have money to pay for my services? How can I help them and still get money? Okay. I have a friend. He's in San Diego. I probably shouldn't say this because you'll look him up. His name is Mitch Galler. I'm going to say Mitch Galler. Okay. He is a dermatologist. He's one of the top dermatologists in the world. Now, I've known Mitch for about 25 years. And when I first met him, I realized that he told me what he did mostly was cosmetic surgery and that he helped women with bad varicose vein problems. That was his primary thing. And, you know, he would show me actually pictures of these varicose veins, and I'm telling you what, my heart would go out to these women, these people. Sometimes men have it too. Because, you know, most people want to have nice legs, they want to look nice, and they've got these veins that are just sticking out. And it's not only looks, for a lot of people would judge it as bad and terrible and ugly, it's not healthy, okay? And so he was one of the top surgeons, and still is, of varicose veins. And so I asked him, as a friend, you know, we would golf together, we do it. And I said, hey, Mitch, let me ask you, how much do you get for one of these surgeries? He says somewhere in the neighborhood between $10,000 and $30,000. I said, holy moly, that's serious. I said, how many surgeries do you do a day? He goes somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 to 12. What? This guy is pulling down like $100,000 a day? A day? Are you joking? Just very calmly. Okay. And I said, wow, I mean, that's a serious amount of money. Not all insurances cover this. He goes, no, I know. A lot of insurances don't cover it. So what do people do? Well, only the rich people can afford it. I said, well, what do people do when their insurances don't cover it or all of it, or they have this massive deduction and they don't have the money? What do they do? What do you do? I mean, how do you handle that? He goes, Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I go, what do you mean? He goes, well, Monday, Thursday, and Friday, and sometimes Saturday mornings, I do my normal surgeries and charge my normal amount. That gives me the leeway and the freedom to do gift surgeries on Tuesday and Wednesday. I said, so what do you mean? How often do you do that? He goes, all day. I said, how many do you do a day? He says, well, usually I stay in those days from 7 in the morning till 10 at night. And I do as many as I possibly can, as long as I'm safe with them. I say, so what you're telling me here is that you earn a lot of money in order to be able to help the people who don't have the money to pay. He goes, well, you know, if you put it that way, I guess that's part of it. But, you know, I wouldn't feel right doing it any other way. Maria and everyone else, I hope I just answered your question. So there's nothing wrong with earning a lot of money. And what you do with that money is up to you. But I'll tell you what, if you can help other people because you are free enough and you are rich enough and you're wealthy enough, and you can now provide your services after that to people who just can't pay for a nominal amount or for nothing, that's the way to help them. But don't make the mistake of just giving away your services and then not taking care of yourself, because I'll tell you what will happen. Not only will you be broke, but where you come from and helping these people will be from a different place. It cannot be a pure service anymore. It cannot be a pure heart anymore. Why? Because it's blackened by struggle. Blackened by struggle. How many of you would love to have enough money to be able to help people who cannot pay for your services and just be able to help them for free? So there's a lot of people who have this blockage of just not charging enough. And this is one of the things you can do. Now, I want to go back to my first person, Michael. When I talked about, and everybody else listening, when I talked about you have to have a purpose for your money. And that purpose for your money must have two parts to it. It must be partly for you, or the ego will take you out. And it must be partly to help other people, or your spirit will take you out. Both. Some money for you, some for spiritual purposes. But you must have a balance of both. And if you don't have a balance, you will suffer. Your ego must be appeased as well as your spirit. Okay. Now, let's talk to everyone here. But by the way, is everyone getting this? Is everyone... Right now, is there some actions that you can take? Write them down in your action part of your workbook or just in your notes. What action from what I've said so far can you install in your life or begin to do in your life? I want you to write down. I want to see what you're doing. What action might you do with what you've been getting so far? What will you start to do? Write it down. This is when you start to think. Write it down. Okay. Just write down what are 3 things. If you had money, why do you want to get rich? What are 3 things you would do with if you had millions of dollars? Some for you and some for others. Very good. Okay. All right. Next. Pawina Chalugan. Pawina Chalugan. Again, this is for everybody, but I'm using this as an example. Question. Is spiritual growth proportional to the amount of money one can earn? Or when you have reached a certain level of spiritual growth, a pile of money will just flow naturally to you? Okay. So in other words, I think you understand that question here. And here's my thoughts. In other words, when you have grown yourself spiritually, will a pile of money flow to you? All right. Now, again, I'm going to go with the stream example. A stream has to start from a source. So will it naturally flow? Well, it will depend on the amount of water that's at the source. Yes, if there's no water at the source, then it will have a hard time coming down. And it will also depend on how wide it is, how big the banks are, et cetera, and that will determine its shape. So naturally, yes. But you know what? Again, there's a lot of blocks. Here's the issue. Here's the issue around it. Now, so I want you to everybody write this down. There's 4 quadrants. Write down kind of a cross on your page, And then the left-hand top corner, I want you to put an M. And the right top corner, I want you to put an E. Bottom left-hand corner, I want you to put an S. And bottom right-hand corner, a P. Again, M-E-S-P. Mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical. We are holistic beings. For things to work for us, listen closely now, for things to work for us, all 4 quadrants must be in harmony. I'm going to say it again. Mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical. So spiritual is only one of the quadrants. And when things are aligned for you and with you spiritually, does that mean that money will just come to you? Well, let me ask you this. What kind of money do you want, everyone? Do you want spiritual money? Do you want mental money? In other words, I think about it money. Do you want emotional money? Or do you want physical, material money? Well, I don't know about you, but if I'm going to be in the money game, I want physical, material money, okay? Now, let me explain something to you. Everybody, listen close here. 4 quadrants. All must be aligned. Mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical must all be there. Not just spiritual. Not just mental, I think about it. I'm thinking right. That's great. Emotional. But do I have any blocks around it? Most people do. But also physical. Now, let me explain something, everybody. Listen very, very closely. Everything is one thing. I want you to write down what you think everything is. Everything in the universe, everything in the world is one thing. Energy, energy, energy. Everything is a form of energy, right? So everything is energy. So I want you to write down, then therefore, what is money? Write it down. Write it down, and I want to see it too. What is money? Money is energy. Good, thank you. Since everything is energy, money is energy also. Good. So money is energy. Now, therefore, if you want big money, what do you have to put out? Guess, what is it? If you want big money, and money is energy, what do you have to put out? You have to put out big energy. What kind of energy do you have to put out to match money in the physical world? What kind of energy will produce money in the physical world? What energy in what quadrant, mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, will produce physical money? You need to put physical energy to get physical money. Listen, I have meditated for 35 years. I have visualized for 35 years. But I'll tell you what, in all those years, I have never sat there meditating or visualizing and had a bag of money drop on my head. Have you? I don't think so. You actually have to, I'm one of these people like you has to actually do something in the real world to produce real physical money. Do something in the real physical reality to produce real physical money. I can't just think about it. I can't just, feel about it. I can't just be a spiritual person and have it just come to me. You've got to provide real value in the real world to real people who will then purchase what you've got, your service or your product from you for real money. Real service, real product for real money, okay? Material, 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 if you want it in the material world. Never forget that. 4 quadrants, all must be aligned for you to produce your full potential. But if you want physical money, you must put the do part of it in there. Do it in the real world. Provide value from people, real value in the real world. You can't talk about it. You can't just think about it. You can't just feel about it. You can't just pray about it. You've got to do it. Do. How many of you ever heard of the program and the book and the film called The Secret? What was by the way, I was on the circuit, the seminar circuit that went around North America. There was a part of the Secret seminar, and I was one of the speakers along with all the other people. I wasn't in that, by the way, because I will say this, believe it or not. So they came and interviewed me, and from all intents and purposes, I heard this was a phenomenal interview. And I got a call from Rhonda, and she says, and her producer says, we loved your information. One little problem, we have to cut you out. Why? Your energy was so high that it didn't match with everyone else's very subtle and lower energy. And because there's so many people who had the subtle energy, and you were the only one with this one, we just, the energy didn't match. I said, okay, fine, no problem. Understand? And so I get it, for their marketing purposes and their cohesion and their unity, it didn't match. Great, no problem. But as soon as the program, the seminar started traveling, they had me in it right away. All right? And so the one problem with The Secret that everyone kind of missed is that you can visualize it and think about it about money, serious all you want. But the one part that they missed was the physical part, the action. Do it. Get it going. Start it. Provide the service. Make the transfer of your service or product for the money. Okay? Do it. Do. Okay. That's it. By the way, here's what I want everybody to do. I want you to do this. I want you to put your hand on your heart right now and repeat after me. Put your hand on your heart and say, I am a spiritual millionaire. Do that right now. I am a spiritual millionaire. And I want you to feel that right now. Good job. Keep writing it. I am a spiritual millionaire. Very good. Thank you for this. Okay. Ty Pittman. He says, I'm curious to ask what foundational spiritual practices you had the years you were building your wealth. And prayer, meditation, retreats, classes. Thank you. Great. So Prayer, probably a little bit. I've never been too much into prayer. I've been into visualization. And I'll tell you what I've been into. Intention. Intention. Focused intention. I'm not saying prayer doesn't work or prayer isn't good. I'm always honest. You can see right through me. I'm totally transparent. I'm not trying to put anything, that I'm not or I am. I'm just telling you what I do. I've never been big into prayer. However, I'm big into intentions. Meditation, yes, for 35 years. Every day? No. Sometimes weeks at a time? No. But most times, yes. Okay? Retreats, constantly. Constant retreats with my guru and other. I just came back from a Deepak Chopra retreat. I was invited by their head person to come and check out and see what they're doing. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. Okay, I go to Sherry Huber, my guru's retreat. We're going to India. We're already set up for at least 2 weeks of ashrams and retreats. Classes, absolutely. I believe in these type of classes and seminars. Everything. Books, absolutely. Absolutely books. I have books everywhere, in every bathroom, every office that I have, every deck that I have, books. And I would say, would you say that the biggest proportion are all spiritually based? Yeah, absolutely. I don't even know if any of them are not spiritually based. They're all spiritually based. That's what I read. Okay, so I do that. But here's the question, what financial practices, spiritual practices, blah, blah, blah. Yes. But now here's the thing I want you to get, everybody. Not only do I have intentions, do meditation, retreats, classes, and books on spirituality, I do exactly the same thing on business and financial topics. That's right. I have business and financial intentions. I have meditations that assist me with success and success for others in the real world. I go to business and financial retreats and seminars and classes, and I read business and financial books, newsletters, and magazines, etc. In other words, both. Both are skills. Both are understandings. Both are knowledge. Do you understand it? If you are single focused on money, and learning about money and being involved with money, how could you be involved in spirituality? If you're single focused in spirituality, how on earth can you get rich? You think it's just going to drop in your face? It's not. You have to learn how to do it, just like you're learning here. And what was the 3 keys I already taught you about? How simple it was to have a lot of money? How is it? What are they? Earn it, keep it, grow it. Simple as that. And get out of the freaking way. All right. Now, let me see if I got some more here. And by the way, I hope you're okay if we, nobody ever said how long this was. I think they said to kind of be around for 90 minutes or something like that, or 2 hours, or I'm not sure. But you know what? I'm here to serve, and that's all I know. And I'm going to do whatever I can to help you. All right, everyone take a nice deep breath. Put your hand on your heart and repeat after me. I am a spiritual millionaire. Again. I am a spiritual millionaire, all right? Write that down. I am a spiritual millionaire. Put your hand on your heart. Say it. Say it out loud. I don't care who is around, okay? If your kids are around, even better. If your husband or wife is around, even better. If your office is around, even better. Just say it, okay? I am a spiritual millionaire. And in order to be a spiritual millionaire, you will have to have a purpose for money that is for you and to help others as well. Let's talk about that right now. Patricia Barros. She asked this question. I am a parent coach, and I struggle with being at peace with defining my fees. Wow, that's different. How do I know if a fee is spiritually the right amount to charge? How do I know it is right and fair? Wealthier clients can pay for my service, but what about the ones left out who cannot pay? I love what I do, but I think I am looking at the money piece too much, and I feel conflicted. Do I have the wrong focus? How is money spiritual? Patricia, thank you for bringing that up. Thank you, because so many people can relate. How do I charge? What do I charge? What do I do? What's the right thing? So I already answered that question. Remember when I was speaking to the element of my friend Mitch Gold? And everybody calling him up and go, hey, can you do me? He'd get really upset with me. He'll just do it out of his own heart. So I gave you that, right? When you have a lot of money, you can help a lot of people who can't afford to pay. You got that already. But however, you said, here's the thing. Do I have a wrong point? How is money spiritual? You know what? I don't know that money is spiritual. I guess in the realm that everything is spiritual because everything is part of the universe, then everything is spiritual. You know, and I'm looking at the TV, that's spiritual. My computer is spiritual. My microphone is spiritual. My Kleenex is spiritual. My water is spiritual. My deck is spiritual. My tree, you know, I guess I could say that. I don't usually think that way. I don't know why. I just don't think that way. So I wouldn't say money is necessarily spiritual. What I would say is, you are spiritual. You are the spiritual part of the equation. Okay? Money is a tool we use in this real world to get along and hopefully have a little bit more comfort and help some other people with who don't have the same wherewithal as we do. That's all. Money is a tool. Money is like a hammer. But is it the hammer or is it the person holding the hammer that determines what kind of tool the hammer is, what kind of tool money is? Remember, we're using an analogy here. Money is a hammer, okay? Money is a tool. Got it? So it's not about the money. It's about the person holding the money. You see, a hammer can be used to build or a hammer can be used to destroy. Yes or yes. Build or destroy. Is the hammer going to just float up in the air and break windows or build? No! The hammer has to have something as the root of the hammer, the tool, and you are that root. You know, money it's just a tool. It's you that counts. Money is evil. Really? No, you must be evil. Money is bad. No, you must be bad. Money is good. No, you must be good. Money can help. No, you can help. Money can hurt. No, you can hurt. You know what? I go to my seminars, and again, they're, extremely large. It's very hard to see people. They're looking on screens, and they look like little ants sometimes out there, except for the first, 20 or 30 rows where I can actually see them. Some guy, I remember, not too long ago, raises his hands, and we send a microphone to him. And he says, Harv, isn't it true that money corrupts people? I said, oh, wow, okay. Money corrupts people. Okay, I guess I've heard that before. Money corrupts people? Does the hammer corrupt people? Okay, here's a hammer. Now you're corrupted. Oh, really? Let me just say this. So here's what I started to do in my seminars. Okay, so money makes people bad, right? When you get a lot of money, when you get rich, raise your hand. Put this in your box that you've heard this. If you've ever heard that, when you get a lot of money, you get corrupted. Money corrupts you? Really? I go, okay, good. All right, so I'm going to say this to you, and I say this to the seminar audience. I want you to raise your hand when we get to the amount that I'm talking about here. You, personally, everyone on this program. So, we know that when you get rich, when you have a lot of money, that a certain amount of money, it corrupts people. So I want you right now to raise your hand if you believe yourself to be a pretty good person. Just say yes. If you believe yourself to be a pretty good person. Yeah, I'm a pretty good person. I'm not perfect, but I'm a pretty good person. Yes. Good. Most people say yes. I want you to tell me, say something like, this is the limit. This is it. When do you become a bad person? So you're a good person now. Tell me when you become a bad person. When you have $100, do you all of a sudden become a bad person? You wake up, you have $100. Now I'm a bad person, right? No, I guess not. Okay, how about $1,000? Oh, wow, I got $1,000. Now I must be a bad person, right? No, I guess no. Nobody's saying they're a bad person. 1,000. Oh, she's obviously not enough. $10,000, and now you go from a good person, and all of a sudden you're a bad person, right? No. I know so. Okay, let's just not waste any time here. Here it is, 600 billion. Diane says, when I get to 600 billion. Okay, so Diane, you're a good person. At $599 billion. You are. You're just, yeah. But your accountant calls you up in the morning and says, Diane, guess what? You have now gotten to a net worth of $600 billion. Yesterday you were a good person, and now you are a what? Oh no! $600 million. That means I'm now a bad person. Oh no! Okay, can you see what a crazy idea this is? Let me know that you understand what I'm talking about here. Do you understand that? When do you become a bad person? No. If you are a good person when you don't have money, guess what? You are going to be a good person. And the more money you have, listen, when you are a bad person, if someone's a bad person, when they have money, guess what? They're still a bad person, and they will probably do bad things with the money. Nothing great, okay? But what do you think happens when you're a good person? And let's not make this, in the ethers here. If you're a good person, then when you have money, what are you going to do with it? Are you not going to have a good time and be comfortable yourself? And are you not going to do your best to help other people as well? Say yes or yes or yes. It's not about what other people do. Rich people are greedy. Who gives a hoot what they are? Are you greedy? Rich people are bad people. Who cares? Are you a bad person? Listen, I'm not a bad person. I think of myself as a kind, loving, and spiritual and good person. And when I have money, I do what a kind, loving, generous, and good person naturally does when they have something. How about you? Who cares what the media says? Who cares that somebody was greedy and some corporation is taking advantage? Who cares? That has nothing to do with you and your life and your wealth. When you have money, you will share it. You will help. You will contribute because you're a good person. Yes or yes. Okay, listen. You can hear, I hope, the energy and the passion around this. It bothers me to know, and when people make crazy, dumb, insane generalizations. Well, rich people are bad. Really? Are you bad? Money corrupts people? Guess what, my friends? Write this down. Money doesn't corrupt people. People corrupt money. Bad people make money bad. Good people make money good. It's a tool, and that's all. Okay. Put your hand on your heart. Put your hand on your heart. Repeat this with me. I am a spiritual millionaire. Once again, I am a spiritual millionaire. Twice as loud. I am a spiritual millionaire. And damn proud of it. Damn proud of it. I got both going on. I can live a nice life, and I can help other people. Yes or yes or yes or yes. Okay, very good. Let me see if I got time for one or two more questions here. IoT Aurora. By the way, is everyone understanding this pertains to you? I'm just using the questions as props. You understand that? They're just props to lead me in a direction. And by the way, I'm just opening my mouth, and I'm just saying this right now. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm opening my mouth, and Spirit is just running through and expressing whatever needs to be expressed at the time. I don't even know what I'm saying here, and I don't care. Oh, are you okay with that? Are you okay with that? And by the way, if my style doesn't suit you, then you know what you should do? You should just don't worry about it. Don't let my style, my loudness, my vocabulary, who I am, don't let the messenger interfere with the message that the universe is trying to bring you. Listen, I understand, especially for spiritual people, a lot of people are very soft, and you're very yin. And you know what? I have a little challenge. I just came back yesterday from the Oriental medicine guy, the acupuncture guy. And you know what he told me? He's trying to help me because my blood is hot. That's what he told me, right? He told me my blood is hot. He's giving me all this acupuncture, all these tinctures to cool my blood. I'm a hot-blooded guy. What can I tell you? Sorry, but don't confuse the messenger with the message. Just overlook me if I bother you. I'm not going to apologize for who I am. I'm just going to do my thing. And if it doesn't resonate with you, that's okay. Just take the message and go, hey, I don't like his style, but the message is clear, and I'm getting what I need out of this, and that's all I want you to do. I'm not worried about me. I just care that you get the message. Are you okay with that? Are you okay with that? Let's go. J-Y-O-T-I, Aurora. Thank you. It says this, I bake vegetarian cakes from home and cater mostly to events. So my work is actually seasonal. I also take time out to attend weekly spiritual classes and voluntarily teach human values to children in the community. How do I take time out for both and at the same time become a millionaire? All right. Man, oh man, I want everyone to get this. So, EOT, I have a question for you, and I'm going to pretend that you're answering me unless I can see you here. And do you feel that your vegetarian cakes are good? Are they good quality? I'm gonna guess. I apologize. I'm gonna guess that you're gonna say yes to that. Well, let me ask you this question: do you think that your vegetarian cakes are good for people because they're healthier than usually the quote unquote the garbage that people put in their mouths as normal sweetened cakes, etc., and the crap that's in those? Do you think it's better for the people, healthier for the people, better for their heart, better for their health, better for their spirit, better for everything when they eat your vegetarian cakes versus the other things that they could be eating? I'm going to say that I'm going to guess that you're going to say yes. Okay. So in other words, I'm talking to everybody here. Do you believe in your product? Do you believe in your service? Okay. And so it's very simple. Here's your duty. This is your duty. This is not, well, if I have time, well, now listen, everybody write this down. Money is a result. Wealth is a result. Money is a result. Wealth is a result. Okay, so it's a result of what? It's a result of, listen closely, helping a lot of people, solving problems for a lot of people. Now listen closely here. Why do people give you money? Other than, you're nice looking and you're on the street begging, I suppose so. But in general, answer the question, why do people give you money? Here's the answer. Write this down. People give you money in return for you helping to solve their problem. Big or little, they give you money. People give you money for solving their problem. People give you money for solving their problem. Got it? That's what you do, isn't it? Well, if you can help me do this, hey, there's a gardener outside in my yard right now. Why am I giving him money? Because, hey, if he wasn't doing this, guess what? I would have to do this. So, hey, he solves a big problem for me. I'm going to pay you to do this. Same with everything you do. So, how do you make money? By solving a problem for someone, then they give you money. Do you understand? Say yes if you understand. You make money, you earn money by solving a problem for someone, and they give you money. That's how you get them to give you money. Yes or yes? Good. So here's the trick question now. If you want to make money, you solve a problem for a person. Do you understand this? Good. By the way, does this come from a spiritual side or does this come from a money-making success side? Here's the answer. Both. Because you're helping people, right? And you're making money. So you make money by solving a problem for something. So for one person. Now, here's the big question for everybody. I'm going to look for your answers. So if you make money by solving a problem for a person, and they give you money, how do you make a lot of money? Use your heads here. If you make money by solving a problem by solving the problem, help a lot of people by solving lots of problems for a lot of people. And I'm going to give you the secret here. Solving that same problem for a lot of people is how you make a lot of money. So you make some money by solving a problem for some people, and you make a lot of money by solving that same problem for a lot of people. Do you get it here? This is where I want you to focus. Okay. Do you think, EOT, Aurora, that your vegetarian cakes help people? Do they solve a problem for them? If they could get on these vegetarian cakes instead of the other one, wouldn't they be healthier? Wouldn't that solve a big problem for them? Absolutely. So what do you want to do? You want to continue making these vegetarian cakes. But hey, I'm going to say this to everybody. Don't be selfish. Don't be selfish. Your job is to help as many people as possible, yes? So instead of selling 10 vegetarian cakes a day, I want you to figure out how you can sell 1,000 a day. Not to sell them and make money, but in order to help 1,000 people a day. I want you to help 1,000 people a day. I want you to offer and sell 1,000 cakes a day. Do you understand? Not 10. 10 only helps 10 people. I need you to help 1,000 people. Do you understand? I want everyone to understand this. Stop being selfish. Stop thinking about yourself. Put your attention on helping other people. Solve a problem for them. Charge them a fair and reasonable price. Enough that you can make a bit of a profit so you can stay in business. You understand and help more people. And instead of thinking about, Oh, how can I help 3 people today? I want to figure out how I can help 30, 300, 3,000 a day. Why do you think I'm rich? I'm rich because my information doesn't go, and my help, I help people with my books and my seminars, and instead of having 5 people in my seminars, I've created a system of marketing and methodology, etc., in business, whereby I have 5,000 people in my seminars every weekend, and that's why I'm rich. You understand that? Okay. And this is, by the way, I want everybody to understand this. By the way, do you get it? Do you get it? Are you good with this? That you create wealth by helping a lot of people. A lot of money, it comes from helping a lot of people. Lot. And you help people. You focus on helping people. You solve their problem for real, not BS. You must be good at solving their problem. Your product must be great at solving their problem. And don't stop. You know one of the reasons most people have a hard time charging? Because they don't really fully believe in the value that they're offering, in the way that their product and service really works. Oh, I'm a massage therapist, but there's so many people that are better than me. I'm not that big and I'm not that strong. I don't know. I don't feel good about charging. You know what? If you're not a good massage therapist, get out of that business and do something that you are great at and something that resonates with you and something that really, how do you want to help people? That's all you have to think about. And we'll cover more of that in one of the other sections. Okay. All right. Let's see here. By the way, I'm going to say one more thing here. I could answer more questions, but it's not about the questions, is it? Those just lead me. I'm not going to say me. That just leads spirit to come out with certain, expressions. That's all I can say to you. That's all I can say. Are you getting it? Okay. Put your hand on your heart and say, I am a spiritual millionaire. Again, I am a spiritual millionaire. Again, I am a spiritual millionaire. And write that down. I am a spiritual millionaire. Now, Colleen, and this is a short one. I'm going to give one more answer and then give an example that I wanted to share with you here. And I might give that one. Colleen McGillicuddy, she asked this. She says, from social justice teachings, I've sold myself on the fact that a person should not have more than they need until the needs of others are met. That's very nice. You have to be God, but that's very nice. How is it okay to have millions and live in that type of wealth while others can't afford to feed themselves? Now you've been with me for an hour and a half. I hope you've learned something. I hope you've gotten instilled, or at least reminded of something that's already installed in you. You, everyone on this, is going to write in the question thing, answer this question for Colleen and help me out here. The fact that a person should not have more than they need until the needs of others are met. How is it okay to have millions and live in that type of wealth while others can't afford to feed themselves? Everybody, let's see the answers. Gary, being wealthy allows you to help other people. Priscilla, because you can't be broke and help anybody else. I hope you got that, by the way. Your brokenness, your poverty, your poorness, does that help anybody? No. You are now have to be one of the takers instead of the givers. I'm going to say that again. You become one of the takers instead of one of the givers. Stop buying into the complete BS that the clergy and the temples and the churches and the government that tells you money is bad. What if they stood up and said, a hammer is bad. A saw is bad. A chair is bad. A bed is bad. Are you crazy? Stop buying into that. You know what they're trying to do? I'm going to tell you what they're doing. You're not going to like me for this. They are trying to control you. I'm going to say this. I know you're not going to like me for this. I apologize in advance. Who is the number one group of people who over the years, centuries have said that money is bad? I'm going to tell you who it is. It's religious leaders. Now, I am not against religion at all. I think religion can be extremely helpful for many, many, many people. It's a beautiful thing. It can be a beautiful thing. But you need to take everything, including what I say, with a bit of a grain of salt and test it out in the real world. They say that money is evil. money is bad. And then 10 minutes later, they are passing around a basket and asking you for it? Are you kidding me? What? By the way, can anybody name the largest landowner in the world? Who can name that? The Catholic Church. Thank you. Nothing wrong with that. You know what? I honor them for being smart. You gotta be brilliant to buy real estate cheap, and they've done it. And they own many of their churches, if not all of them. Brilliance, beautiful. That was a grace of God. For them to be smart enough to buy the most valuable thing on earth, which is earth. Beautiful. I love it. I don't beget them. I honor them for doing it. But don't at the same time tell me that money is bad. Don't do that. Okay? Do you get it? Rockefeller. No, Rockefeller owns a pittance. do you have a realization of what I'm getting to? That's all. It's BS. Money is not bad. Money is just a function of you. If you are good, your money is great. Help other people with it. Give them a leg up. I'm working right now, as I said, with a chiropractor who's my physical therapist. I'm helping him in his business. Why? I don't know why. Why? He's trading with me. That's beautiful. But you know what? Who cares? I can give him the stupid $100. Who cares? It's nothing for me. Okay? It's like every time I go out for lunch, it's $100 or more. Are you kidding me? I could give him the $100 for 2 hours on me. Are you kidding? It's nothing. Why am I helping him? Why am I sitting there and writing business plans for him and marketing copy? Why? Because he's a young guy. He has a beautiful wife, a 1-year-old child, and they're very nice people. And they're trying. And they're good people. And I think I'm a decent person, so I want to help him. That's all. Now, will I finance his entire business? Okay. That will have to make sense financially. Would I like to? I'm going to do everything in my power to help him. That's all I can say to you. Why? Because I want to. Why? Because I can. Why? Because I'm not sitting there all day long and night long. I can't say because I'm struggling financially. Do you think your struggle helps anybody? No, it doesn't. Do you think getting rich might help somebody? Well, at least there's a shot at it, yes? And if you're a good person, who decides what to do with your money? You do. And what if it just buys you the freedom to be able to put your time and effort into helping other people and helping organizations? What if your money just buys you freedom to give you time to help? What's wrong with that? Okay. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to finish this off in a very specific way. And what we're going to do here, put your hand on your heart right now and say, I am a spiritual millionaire. I am a spiritual millionaire. I am a spiritual millionaire. Excellent. Good job. Good job. Okay. Here's what I want everybody to do. We're getting ready to close this off. Whew. I'm perspiring here. That means that's good. That's good. That means that energy just running right through me and running to you, I hope and pray. Take a nice deep breath, everybody. Nice deep breath. I want you to close your eyes. Close your eyes and take a nice deep breath. Inhale and exhale. We're going to do a visualization together. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Beautiful, beautiful. Just relax. Just relax. Lots of energy in this session. But you know what? You are a wizard. You are a wizard. You have both sides to you. Remember that. You are a warrior. You are a wizard. You are both. You are whatever you need to be in the moment. And in this moment, we're going from high energy to a different, beautiful, loving energy. And we can do that just like that. Slow down. Slow down your breath. It's all good. And I want you right now to imagine yourself at a fork in the road. Whatever road you can imagine, there's no right or wrong. It could be in the forest. It could be on the street. It doesn't matter. Paths, it doesn't matter. You choose your own fork in your own road. And There are two paths in front of you at this fork. You don't know what it is, but you decide for some reason to take the path on your right. And right now, I want you not just to visualize, I want you to do what I'm asking you to do full on. Remember you said you would play 100%, that's all I'm asking you to do. I want you to actually walk down this path on your right and and go down a few yards or a few meters, maybe 10, 15, 20. Now, you need to know that this is the path of the spiritual life, a life full of inner peace, a life full of connection, of consciousness. And you're going down this path. Nice. But as you continue down this path, you are acutely aware that you are having a very challenging time making ends meet financially. You're struggling. You can't buy the things you want for yourself and your family. You can't even buy the things you really need. You constantly have to pinch your pennies and your small coins. You don't feel good about yourself. There's something wrong. And even though you know in your heart that money doesn't buy peace and happiness, you're not feeling very peaceful having to struggle around money. You are stressed on this path. You begin to wonder if you are on the right path in life. You are confused. You know, you're a good and kind and loving person. You only want to help. Why do you have to have these financial problems? And so you take a deep breath now, and you let it out, and you make a decision. You turn your back on this path, you turn around, and you go back to the fork in the road at the beginning, and you decide that in today's world, you need to be a financial success. In today's world. And so now you take the left fork on the path. And this, my friends, is the path of money. And not just money, a lot of money. The path of wealth. Your financial problems are over as you walk down this path. Start walking. So you are now living a life of wealth. Money is readily abundant for you. You can afford everything you need and pretty well most of what you want. But as you walk, you notice that you have a heavy heart because you feel successful in one way, but empty in another. You have this constant feeling like there's more to life than money and material things. You yearn for connection with the universe, with spirit, with a higher power, and with other people. You yearn for a connection with your heart. You want the simple things in life. You want time with your family, time with your friends, time to just relax and enjoy and not always have to be doing and doing and doing and achieving and achieving and achieving, especially not having the constant pressure and activity of the world of commerce where there's no end. You begin to wonder once again if you are on the right path. And again, you have doubt creep in. You are confused. You're frustrated. You don't know why or what to do, but this path just doesn't seem to be working for you. And so you take a deep breath as you do that now, and you turn around and you turn your back on the path of financial success, and you go back to the fork in the road, and you sit, and you don't know what to do, and you just reflect on which of these two roads should you take now? Which should you try again? And as your eyes are open and you're looking down on the ground, into your heart, into your feelings, you notice for the very first time a very subtle and faint and hardly used path that's been covered by a bush. And you push the bush to the side, and you can now clearly see this faint path running in the middle, running in between the two other paths. You're not sure, but you hear a voice not in your head, but this voice that's coming through your heart. And the voice says, this path before you is the path of both spirituality and financial success. I want you to take it. This is the path for your life. And as you begin to walk this path, a brand new feeling that you've never felt before comes over you. It's a feeling of strength, of confidence, of power, of success, of abundance. It's a feeling that you can do anything. And I want you right now to feel that feeling. Feel that feeling now. The feeling of power, of success, of confidence, of strength. Feel it. Breathe it in. Let this overcome you. Let this feeling be you now. Strength, confidence, power, success, abundance. This is you. And at the same time, there is also room, and there is a new feeling of inner peace, of joy, of love, of connection to spirit and connection to everything and everyone in the universe. I want you to feel that feeling now. Breathe it in. Let it be you. This feeling of inner peace, allow it. Joy, love, connection to everything and everyone in the universe. Feel that feeling now. Make this feeling stronger. And yes, all the paths are forward. And now, for the very first time, you feel whole. You feel complete. You feel crystal clear. You feel 100% about your path in life. This is it. The path of a perfect blend between financial success and spirituality. And you have this aha moment where you don't think, but you know in the deepest parts of you that you can be a kind, generous, loving, peaceful, balanced, and spiritual person, and be really, really, really rich, and that they go together beautifully and perfectly. Because the better you are, and the more spiritual you are, and the more generous you are, and the kinder you are, the more you can help others. And when you help others and you provide them with the problem, the solving of that problem, you get rewarded with financial success. It goes beautifully together. Isn't that the craziest thing? The entire world and our culture has split these two apart, and yet one really can't work without the other. Oh my God, if I would have known. And you smile now, because this path of both, this path that was so faint at the beginning, is so clear and obvious to you now. And you make a commitment, feel it, that no matter what comes up, you will never veer from this path. The path that combines enlightenment with achievement, peace with power, and success with serenity. And if you personally, you in the Spiritual Millionaire Program, if you are willing to commit to this path, I want you to keep your eyes closed, but nod your head yes. Nod your head yes. I'm willing to commit to this path of both financial success and spirituality. And now, with your eyes still closed, I want you to touch your heart and say these words to yourself, but out loud. I, and then put your name in there. So I, T. Harvecker, I, put your name in there, am a spiritual millionaire. do this again. I, and then put your name in there, your first and last name, am a spiritual millionaire. Now, say it one more time. I, and state your name, am a spiritual millionaire. And feel what that feels like inside you. And make that feeling that you are a spiritual millionaire stronger and stronger and stronger until it's bursting out of you that you can't help but be a good person, a kind person, a generous person, a loving person, and still handle business in a way and help a lot of people that you get the reward of being rich. So you can help even more people. And now smile. For you now know your path in life, the path that blends both spirituality and success. Yes, life is good. You have the Holy Grail. You've got them both. And breathe in, inhale, and exhale, and open your eyes. Put a smile on your face. Put your hand on your heart one more time, and as loud as you can, you say, I am a spiritual millionaire. I am a spiritual millionaire. I am a spiritual millionaire. And I am damn proud of it. And I am ready to go. Excellent. Excellent. Good job. Breathing in, breathing out. We're going to end this in a moment here on my side. Then you're going to handle some logistics. I have a little bit of action for you. I hope you wrote some very, very pertinent, very, very specific actions in your life that you are going to do based on what we're talking about. Of course, one of them is what? Earn, keep, grow. Another one is what? You get rich in order to help other people and contribute. Another one is what? Money is a reward for helping people solve their problems. Money is a result of doing that. Another one is what? You will, if you want a lot of money, you need to what? Help a lot of people and more and more. How are you going to do that? How will you do that? Well, one thing you're going to definitely do is beyond the other 7 sessions in this call, in this series, because we're going over everything to do with money. And I hope you enjoyed today. And you have a little bit of homework. I call it play work, whatever work. A little bit of a to-do. Remember, a to-do. And I just want you to do this very, very simply right now. Okay? I want you to do 2 things. Number 1, I want you to write down 3 of your reasons for getting rich. 3 reasons for you to get rich. Write that down. Write that down as part of your homework here. 3 reasons to get rich. One of them better be for you, and at least one of them better be to help other people, okay? That's how it works. 3 reasons. Put this on a poster board in colored pencil and put it on your wall. 3 reasons to get rich. And now I also want you to do this. And I want you to do this every day for 7 days until we meet again. Do you understand? Remember, you committed. And when you commit, I hold you to your agreement of commitment. And that means you play it 100%. Yes or yes. You do what I asked you to do. You said you would try it out in your own life. Simply do it. Don't question it. And don't not do it. Because if you don't do it, you know what's holding you back in your life. And that is that you are not willing to do what you said you were going to do. You're not willing to keep your agreements. You're not in integrity. Just do what I said in order just to be in integrity. I don't care if you like it. I don't care if you believe in it. It doesn't matter. You said you would do what we asked you to do. You said you played 100%. So do it for that reason and that reason only and see what happens in your life. And here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I have a mantra for you. Write down this mantra. Write down this mantra. You're going to do this mantra 5 times a day, 3 times each time you do it. 5 times a day, 3 times each time you do it. You're going to do this mantra first thing when you wake up in the morning. It's very simple. You're going to do it before each of your meals. I'm assuming you eat 3 meals. And you're going to do it before you go to sleep. That's 5 times a day. When you wake up, before each meal, and before you go to sleep. And here's your mantra. Write it down. I am kind, loving, peaceful, and rich. And you're going to say that 3 times. That's your mantra. So when you wake up in the morning, we're going to say this together right now. I am kind, loving, peaceful, and rich. Again, I am kind, loving, peaceful, and rich. And one more time, feel the resonance of each word. Let it sink into your heart. I am kind, loving, peaceful, and rich. Bless you all. So be it. Thank you, everyone. I can't wait to speak with you again next week. I love you.